Oh, the puff. The puff. What happened to the days when you were actually funny, drawing on people's faces with a marker after they fell asleep trying to listen to your song, but no one can stay awake for it? Oh man. Hey guys, what's up? Thor here. Welcome back to Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We've got our final, at least for me, it's the final recording for boss battles. I've already recorded Lucas's, and I did live commentary for Lucas's since it was the last one. But the puff caused a little bit of problems. She took, I believe, 5 or 6 tries. Because she's frail. What a surprise. She's a light character, and what problems do light characters have? As we all know by now, they get killed easily. Very easily, in fact. Boom. Luckily, battle release still no challenge, but they get killed incredibly easy, and as you can expect, Jigglypuff is no exception. She kinda has the same issues Kirby has, not quite to the same extent. I mean, she has no up B for recovery, but she's got plenty of jumps. So I'd say your strategy here is kind of the same thing it was for Kirby, at least if I remember Kirby's correctly. That was, you know, a pretty fair ways back, to say the least, but do a jump followed by an attack, and then a jump followed by an attack. It's kind of like, you know, the strategy that you have for the Smash Bros. Melee target test for her. It's like jump, attack, jump, attack, jump, attack, and that's what you do at the end. Aside from that, don't use rest. It's a complete waste of time. Don't use it. Even if it does hit, it's going to make you fall asleep, and that's not something you want to have happen. That's going to leave you stunned for, you know, a pretty long time. Not quite as long as whenever your shield breaks, but still, you know, pretty high up there to the point where you're going to get hit by the next attack, likely. So you want to avoid that as best you can. Her standard B, I just kind of use it to mess around, you know, maybe get away from something relatively quickly. But, you know, actually using it, not really. I stick to the aerials. Her smash attacks are decent. They're nothing that great, but they're decent. Her aerials are really where you want to use most of her ability, because since she is the balloon Pokemon, of course, and she is also a Puff, as I know her, the Puff, she will, you know, fight better in the air. What a surprise. Maybe not competitively, but in boss battles, she fights better in the air. She will get, I believe she is one of the lightest characters in the game. I think Game & Watch is the lightest, but she is definitely one of the 3 lightest. I'm pretty sure it's her, Game & Watch, and then like Toon Link, probably. Nobody else is coming to immediate mind. I think those are the 3 lightest, but I know well, no, I guess it's Kirby, but Jigglypuff is definitely one of the lightest characters. So she will get killed at very low percentages, and going in here with 69%, it's like if I get hit by, you know, like, whenever he does the punch, wherever he comes in the background and does the punch, if I get hit by like a sweep, anything like that, I'm gone. Even at that low percentage. In 97, I'm definitely in trouble if I get hit by anything, so you do have to be very careful in these battles, and it really is a patience fight. Jigglypuff, whenever she rolls out of the way or does like a sidestep or whatever, in order to get out of the way of something, she doesn't go as fast as some of the other characters. So her roll is a little bit short, so stuff like the Driller will likely hit you even if you roll out of the way, because she just won't roll out of the way fast enough. And yeah, it's a problem, I know it is, trust me. But there's not much you can do about it. Getting through, honestly, to the 5th boss before having to use a container is pretty good. If you can regulate it like that, you'll have to use one at 5, and then you get through 4 more, and that'll be 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then you can use the container at 8. And then, you know, from there, you can just wait until you get to Taboo, so for Jigglypuff, it kind of does depend on the order of the bosses. You really don't want to get some of the bad ones later on. If you get, like, Duon and Porky and Rayquaza as, like, 7, 8, and 9, then you're probably going to be in serious trouble. And to be honest, even Galleon can put up a decent fight. Initially, whenever I first played through, like, boss battles on Intense, I thought Galleon, to be perfectly honest, I thought he was the hardest boss to beat, but the more I play through this, the more I find he's not really much of a threat at all. The threats are, Duon primarily, Porky for damage, and Rayquaza can be a real monster on the later. You know, if you fight him as one of your last ones, he can be really annoying. But Galleon, not so much. Like, I don't find him that, you know, bad. I used to hate him. Like, he was always the one that I was like, oh great, now I'm gonna die, but no, he doesn't cause much trouble for me anymore, really. Has he killed me in, like, some failed recordings? Yes, he got me twice with Jigglypuff, but, like, he's not as bad as I used to think he was, I guess. But yes, he still can kill you, absolutely, but I don't think he's in the top 3 for the most difficult bosses for me. I still think it's... Duon's definitely 1, Porky's definitely 2, and then 3 is probably Rayquaza. If it's not Rayquaza, it might be Gallium. It's a tie between Gallium or Ridley, because for some reason, whenever I fight Ridley, I seem to get stuck under the stage a lot, and I don't know why. It's kind of weird. But I think Duon's definitely the worst, yes. Regardless of that, there is a little bit of luck involved in just what order you get the bosses for Jigglypuff, and as much as I hate saying that, it's entirely true. And I kind of had to figure out what it was a good strategy for the ground bosses. Using the up attack whenever, just your up attack while you're on the ground, that actually did work relatively well against Porky. I'm not sure how well it would have worked against PD Piranha, probably not very well, because, you know, he's only got 2 attacks. One is swinging the cages, and you have to dodge that, and then the other one's jumping up and he's in the air. I'm thankful I actually managed to hit him right there. I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure that would have killed me if I had not. Even at 67%, I think that would have killed me. And at this point, I had no choice. I had to tank out whatever was left on the bosses, which was Ridley and I think one of the hands. I think it was Master Hand that was left, but it may not have been. But at this point, I basically just had to go for broke, and, you know, I was like, well, I've used up both my heart containers. Obviously, I want to save the last one for a Taboo, because I definitely want to go into that fight with 0%. So just kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? I guess I'm just going to have to keep fighting him and hope I don't get killed at any point, because at 85%, you know, any attack that's relatively strong, that is a significant possibility that you're not going to make it out of that one. So I played it as careful as I could, and, you know, took out Ridley eventually here. Who else did I have left? The Puff. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Oh yeah, it was Master Hand, sure enough. So yeah, Master Hand was nice. So I guess I got lucky in that sense that the bosses that I couldn't use a heart container for when I would have liked to use one were relatively easy in Master Hand and Ridley. And I did get lucky in that sense. And as much as I say I have trouble with Ridley sometimes because I get stuck under the stage, that really can't happen with Jigglypuff since she's got 5 jumps. That's usually not going to be the case with somebody like Jigglypuff. It has nothing to do with not being able to make a recovery. It has to do with making sure that you don't get hit at even a moderate amount of damage that would not kill a heavyweight at all, or even really a middleweight. But for characters like Jigglypuff, anything over 50% one hit will likely get you. And it's, you know, kind of annoying. It can be frustrating at times, but, you know, there's not much you can do about it. Luckily, I did make it to the Taboo fight. Still the heart container intact, so yeah. Believe it or not, this boss battle actually did not send me over the 9-minute mark. In fact, I'm pretty sure it didn't even send me over 8. I think it was a little bit under 8, if I recall. It was like 7:20 something, 7:30 something. It was about 7.5 minutes, if I recall, on the timer. Which, you know, it still took a lot since I went in here with about 5.5 minutes. It means it took about 2 minutes to kill him, but even then, I was expecting Jigglypuff's to take a lot longer. Hers was hard, and I knew it was going to be hard, but I expected hers to be like one of those patience battles where it was going to be like, you know, up there with Link, where it was going to take a really long time, like 9.5, 10 minutes on the timer, and it didn't take that long at all. I was expecting it to take much longer, and it just didn't. Luckily, Jigglypuff, at least attack-wise, being able to hit stuff, does do better in aerial fights, so Taboo is a better fight for her than, say, Porky or, you know, Gallium, somebody who's on the ground a lot. And I don't even think for Gallium, despite the fact he is a grounded boss, I don't think, like, the people that do better in the air, really, they don't have to worry about Gallium too much even then, because he's so big of a target, you can just use your aerial hits on him. They're still going to get him. With Porky, he's still a big boss, but he's a little bit smaller, so, you know, it's a little bit harder to pull off the stuff you want to. With Gallium, he's a lot bigger, it's not that big a deal. But maybe that's just my imagination from Gallium used to seeming so annoying back in the day, and then now he just doesn't at all. I did play careful in this fight for the obvious reason that I did not want to lose again for like the 4th time or 5th time or whatever it was. But I just played carefully in the fight in general to just take my time with this one, avoid him doing like the little warp thing with the explosions. So I did play careful because I did not want to take a lot of damage here, and it did pay off. Oh, well, no, it was only 7:10, okay. So it was a little bit over the 7-minute mark, but not 9 minutes, so not 9.5. Faster than I expected, but regardless, I'm done recording the audio for these because I've already recorded Lucas's. His will be live audio, will not be post-commentary, so I will see you guys for boss battles with Lucas. See you then.